Welcome to this week's episode of Bridge to Faith. I'm your host, Yusuf Estes, and for the next few minutes we're going to be talking about faith, what it is, how you can get it, and how it applies to today's world. And then following that, we'll have somebody's particular story of their bridge to faith. All of that and more is coming up right here. I'm your host, Yusuf Estes, and today we're here in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, in one of the most unusual bridges in the world, the bridge between the two twin towers. This is going to be an amazing opportunity for us to have a little bit of fun, to meet some new people, and to talk about my favorite subject, faith. When we look at the many structures around the world, we find that they have a value from a commercial point of view as well as aesthetic value. But these are man-made things. We want to talk about faith and what it is. Is there such a thing as man-made faith? Is faith itself something man-made? Is the belief in God something that human beings came up with on their own? Or is this really something that could be from God himself, if there is a God? And that's really what we want to talk about in our program today, to deal with this subject about faiths, where they come from. What are these different beliefs, the different religions that people have? Is there really evidence to indicate that there's a God? Well, we have a website that we'd like you to visit. It's called godallah.com. godallah.com, that deals with this subject in depth and gives you the opportunity to explore, question your own mind, question the beliefs and faiths of others, and at the same time gives us a chance to look at evidences and proofs from creation, from nature, from things that are around us every day. Now today we're here, we're in Kuala Lumpur, we're inside of one of the largest structures in the world and the biggest of its kind on the planet. And we're looking over here at a structure that's going up. This Christmas tree that you see being built over here gives you an idea of something that is man-made related to faith. And that's why we wanted to use that image to let you think about a lot of faiths today are really man-made, just like this artificial tree. But is the faith that we're talking about artificial, or is it real? Where does it come from? Is it something deep within the heart but without any base? Is it something from the mind but without any spirit? Or is it a combination of both? And then when we're all done, does it have any proof? Does it have evidences? This is why that I'm insisting that we use the references from the things that we find around us and then compare it to the things that are being offered from the various faiths to see if we can, in fact, determine once and for all, is there really a God? And if so, how can we know? Another website we want to talk about, it's called Science Islam. ScienceIslam.com. Here's a great chance to test out some of the evidences and proofs being offered about faith. Let's do that now. Let's take a chance to look at some of the evidences and then we'll be back.
The Petronas Twin Towers are more than an architectural wonder. They are an eloquent statement of the hopes, the aspirations of a forward-looking nation. Like that unique portal to infinity, portrayed by the sky bridge linking the two towers, the Petronas Twin Towers symbolize the new spirit of Malaysia that is propelling the nation towards its Vision 2020. In the Golden Triangle of Kuala Lumpur, home to the Selangor Turf Club. When the club moved out in the late 80s, it paved the way for the city's new landmark. Following approval for the development, the search began internationally in 1990 for a master plan for the new Kuala Lumpur City Centre, or KLCC as it is called. The winning design by a US consultancy proposed 37 acres for 22 commercial facilities, such as office and residential buildings, hotels, shops, entertainment and recreational amenities. The remaining 66 acres were planned as public areas, including a 50-acre park with fountains, playground, landscape gardens and a mosque. The crowning touch was Petronas's decision to build its corporate headquarters here. Petronas had in 1991 taken a majority stake in KLCC Holdings Berhad, which owns the 103-acre site. Destined to be the focal point of the project, the Petronas site on the northwest corner was selected for its prominence. But first, it needed a design.
The towers are composed of two rotated and superimposed squares. Small circular infills symbolize Islamic values of unity, harmony, stability, and rationality. These majestic yet purposeful buildings are an engineering marvel. Silver ribbons of stainless steel wrap the horizon at each level. Double-deck passenger lifts transport passengers at high speed within the Twin Towers.
Go down to go up, and somehow that makes sense, I think. I don't know, but anyway, we're going to get a tour now of this largest structure of its type in the world. We're here and we're in the inside, going down inside the building, and inshallah we're going to get a chance to go up and see from the top. But for right now we got to go down to get up. Of the many man-made contraptions that we've come up with over the centuries, probably motorcycles, motorbikes, motor scooters are some of the best. Easy transportation, very economical, and easy to park, fun to ride. That's where we're at right now. We're here still in Kuala Lumpur, but we're in a special place underneath the Twin Towers, and we're still with Bridge to Faith, and there's more coming up right here.
So gentlemen, may I have your attention please? It travel 1 second per 1.5 floor. We'll be reaching level 41 within 41 seconds, less than 1 minute. No food and beverage is allowed in the entire visit, including chewing gum. And in case of emergency or fire, please remain calm and follow all instructions given out by the crew on duty. Once we reach the Sky Bridge, I'm going to give you a quick facts about the towers and the Sky Bridge. Thank you.
At least something's high speed over here.
Men då ser du er där till klockan 2.
We're now at level
Okay.
41. Our
Yeah, that
just
is-
behind you over there. And this Twin Tower standing at 452 meters above the street level. And it's 88-story building, designed by a very famous and well-known US-based architect who has been in, called themselves Caesar Pele and Associates, in association with KLCC Architect. KLCC stands for Kuala Lumpur City Centre, and it took 2.5 years to complete this two majestic tower. You've been given 10 minutes to spend on the bridge. If you have any further question or any doubt, feel free to approach us. For your further information, this bridge is not fully attached to the building. Move or sway about 10 inches. You can see the gap over there on the left and on the right side here, but it's really depending on the strength of the wind blowing. Luckily, the average wind blow in Kuala Lumpur is 60 kilometers per hour, so you can't really feel the sway of this bridge nor this building at this moment. But it is normal for the tallest building and the bridge to sway a bit. The highest you go into this building, if you may, it moves 75 centimeters. Right, thank you so much. Enjoy the visit.
We've been talking about man-made structures, man-made faiths, and man-made religions. This is a great opportunity for us to really consider what it is that we can use as testable evidence for the proof of the existence of any creator or of any God. And one of the things that we would notice immediately would be, what is the name? Just as these towers have a name, a building here has a name, the city has a name, the state, the country, all has a name. Where does the name come from and what does it mean? And we find with the religions the same thing, that people name their religions based on something that's usually a noun, such as Christianity named for Christ, Judaism named for the tribe of Judah, Hinduism named for Hindustan, and Confucianism named for Confucius. But what is the word Islam and what does it mean? And we have a website for that. It's called whatsislam.com. That's whatsislam.com, W-H-A-T-S, don't put the apostrophe, internet doesn't like that, islam.com. You'll find there the etymology of the word Islam. And what does it mean? It represents the surrender, the submission, the obedience, the sincerity, and peace with the one Almighty, indicating immediately a relationship between one which is the master, the other which is the servant. And this is the relationship that the Muslim has with their Creator. This is the relationship that each and every one of us as Muslims has with Almighty God. We think about how we're serving Him and He's the master. So it doesn't describe really a noun, it's talking about a verb, a series of verbs. And the more we reflect on it, the more we realize that's really what a lot of the religions are talking about anyway, isn't it? But this case, it's talking about God's religion, His way. In this part of our program, we like to talk to someone about their bridge to faith, how they came to believe, and what it means to them. That's coming up right now. Stay right there. This week on Bridge to Faith, we're here in Kuala Lumpur. You've already seen this bridge from the inside, from the underside, and now we're going to talk about a bridge to faith with our guest. And we're very happy to have with us today our brother in Islam. Say your name for us.
Khamardin Abdullah.
Khamardin Abdullah. And you're from where originally?
From Penang.
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 That's where you live now?
Yes.
Were you born there?
Yes, I born there.
MashaAllah. Now tell us, did you start out in a particular faith? You grew up as what?
Yeah, I was born in Christianity, Roman Catholic.
Roman Catholic?
And a very staunch family. My parents, my father just passed away in Christianity, my grandma, they are very staunch and very strong, in fact. And I came to Islam, of course, Allah guided me. Allah indeed guided me. And after reading the Holy Quran, after going to Surah Al-Ikhlas, the chapter 112, and I'm amazed, so crystal clear that Allah is one true God, without mystery and without confusions.
Okay, now wait a minute. I want to ask you a question. You said that you were born in Penang. Now, Penang is part of Malaysia?
Yeah, indeed, part of Malaysia.
Is it an island or peninsula?
It's an island.
An island?
And an island beside the peninsula.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, in that country or that place, that's part of Malaysia, so that's the same country?
Yeah, same country.
Okay. So same as here in Kuala Lumpur?
Exactly. Kuala Lumpur is the capital.
Okay. So people can be Christian?
Yeah.
Can they be Hindu?
Yes.
Buddhist?
Yes.
Atheist?
Yes.
Can they be any religion?
Yes, in Malaysia.
You have everything?
Everything.
What is the most famous religion?
Malaysia famous religion is Islam and Christianity.
Christianity?
Yeah, Islam and Christianity.
Is there a good influence of the Christianity here in Malaysia?
Yes, yes. Good influence.
Well, what month is this?
This is the November.
Okay, and so in November, you see already they're putting up decoration for what?
Yeah, Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
They have Christmas tree, Christmas lights, Santa Claus,
yes.
Everything,
yes,
yeah?
Yes.
But still, the people ruling the country are what?
Muslims.
Muslims rule the country and
Yes.
Christians side by side?
Yes, side by side.
No problem?
No problem.
MashaAllah. Now, you came to Islam.
Yes.
You were Roman Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
All right, that's nice. Now, you said reading something from Quran caused you to see something clear. You'd like to go to Islam. But I want to ask you about your faith as a Christian. Were you really believing in God as a Christian?
Yeah, I did believe.
So
yes,
no
I
problem.
do believe. No problem.
So what is the best thing? Now, we're talking about somebody who's been a Christian. I also have been a Christian. Both of us are Muslim. And I'm asking you, is faith something people need?
Oh, surely, definitely. There is a solution for our problems today. And we need tranquility, peace in the heart, and the right founded faith. Yes, definitely.
Well, we've been talking about, while we were visiting inside of the building here, we were talking about man-made buildings, man-made edifices, and man-made structures. Even they were making the Christmas tree, putting it all together in there. And I was watching that, and we were talking about, what about man-made religions, man-made faiths? People say something, they have a theory, they have a philosophy, then it doesn't work, so they change it, make something else, they go to something else. So in the faith that you were in, did you feel that you needed to look for something else?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Why?
Because the first of all, the concept of God in Christianity, which I came from, they believe that Jesus is God, Jesus is a man, God, and He died for our sin, the original sin, and this is all make me confused. That I think I have to look for a new and something realistic, something more practical than just a faith on believing that we're born on original sin, and then God came in the form of man and died for us. It doesn't make sense.
To you, it doesn't make sense. To me, it didn't. But there are those who they don't need it to make sense. They just need it to be a matter of faith, and they accept it, and that's their choice. But I want to ask you now: did you look at Hinduism?
No.
Why not? You got many Hindus.
Yeah, I used to follow blindly to the temples, but I do not really study Hinduism.
But you've been around Hindus.
Yes, yes.
What is the thing about Hinduism that you think that is something that attracts people to it? The people that are Hindus, they like it. Why?
Maybe it's because of the festival, grand festivals that attract them, like Thaipusam, Deepavali, the grand festivals like Christmas. Many people celebrate Christmas even though they are not Christians, things like that attract them.
You're right. A lot of people don't know that we do have the people, non-Christian people, who celebrate Christmas, celebrate Easter.
Yeah.
They have a lot of fun, give presents, even have a Christmas tree in their house.
Yeah.
Don't even know where it came from. Well, anyway, I wanted to have a chance to ask you some questions about this because we're here in Kuala Lumpur, we're here in Malaysia. We've just had such a great experience to go to the largest twin towers in the entire world. They're connected by that bridge, and we said this was a good chance for us, of course, with the name that we have, Bridge to Faith, to call upon you to come and tell us about your bridge. Can you give us some idea how it felt as you were looking into this? What was going on in your head, and what was happening while you were coming from one faith to another faith?
It's quite difficult. It's a bit difficult. But as I said earlier, God have guided me, God have shown me the way, and it's a great blessing. It's not from my intellect, it's not from my reasoning. But after that, after 6 years after becoming Muslim, then I really went in depth. I studied the Bible, I studied the Quran in depth, and I found, as you used to say, the Quran does not contradict the Bible, but the Bible contradicts itself. That is beautiful. That is really beautiful.
I think the quote from me on that one is, the Quran and the Bible don't contradict each other except where the Bible contradicts itself.
Yeah.
And that's a good point, because one of the things about proof or evidence that we look for is it shouldn't be contradictory.
Yes.
On one page it shouldn't be saying this is up, and the next page this is up.
Yeah.
This is east, and then on the next page this is east. It doesn't make sense. So certainly the continuity in carrying through is something that appealed to me, but I want to talk about you. Now, after you decided to come to Islam, exactly what happened? Tell us what happened. Somebody talked to you, you talked to somebody, what happened?
It was my sister who presented me a Quran, a Malay translation.
Wait a minute, your sister was a Roman Catholic?
Yeah, she having friends, Muslim friends. So she gave it to me later, not early stage. It was later stage, and from there I started my journey in understanding Islam, and more I studied Islam, more and more that I feel that I belong to this religion.
What about your sister? Did she become a Muslim?
One, she accepted Islam, one rejected. Another sister rejected Islam.
But this one accepted Islam?
Yes, she has at
That's
last.
nice. But the other one, she's still Christian?
She's still Christian.
And you guys still love each other?
Oh, yes, sir. We love each other. She loves me so much,
See?
and I love her so much.
I want to send a message out to all our viewers that, by the way, some of the people you know, if they became Muslim, don't turn your back on them. There's still hope for them. There's still hope for you, still hope for all of us. One of the things that you will be surprised, though, as you read and study about Islam, there are similarities.
Yes.
Well, in fact, the similarities are vast, and it's actually the areas where they don't agree are very small in number, but big in principle. Like you already mentioned, God is not a man, and Islam would never be a man. Another point is God doesn't die for our sins. We actually live in our sin, and we need to get out of it by repenting to Him.
Indeed.
And I'm turning this into more of a discussion instead of an interview. I didn't know I was going to do that. But what I would like to, at this stage, is ask the question to you that after you came to Islam, and you said you still got good relations with your immediate family, what about other people, other Christians? How did they look at you?
They turned me down. They don't wish to be friends with me for time of period. But later on, after I tried to say I'm the same person you see me, I have no difference in relationship, and I still believe in Jesus. I bring Jesus along with me. I did not reject Him. At first they thought I already forsake Jesus. I already thrown Jesus away from my life. I did not throw Jesus away from my life. He's a part of my life. It's very important to believe in Jesus Christ in order to be a Muslim. And I bring Jesus Christ, but not as God. That's the only difference. And slowly, my friends started to understand me. But as you know,
Alhamdulillah, this is what happens. But you keep trying to hold a good relationship.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so now we've had sort of an idea of what it's like in Malaysia for somebody to go from one religion to another, from one faith to another. And what we'll do in some of our upcoming programs is talk to other people that have had similar experiences. But before we leave, I would like for you to just give us some good advice.
If you want to know any religion, please go back to the scripture, to the source of the religion, then you will find it. And surely God will guide you if you stride in His path.
Good advice. If you want to be guided, ask Him. He's the guide. And well, that's it for this week's episode of Bridge to Faith. And this being one of the most unusual bridges in the world, it was certainly worth it for us to take the opportunity to be here, to video it, and send out this message that we have about the real Bridge to Faith. We'll see you the next time here on bridgetofaith.com. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Bridge to Faith. Remember our website, bridgetofaith.com. Until next time, peace. Assalamu alaikum.